Let me start with something uncomfortable. The difference between the rich and the poor in Africa is not intelligence. It's not effort. It's not even opportunity. In the same country, sometimes the same city or the same street, one person builds wealth and the other person stays in survival mode for life. That tells us that there's separation in our communities, and it's at a deeper level. The problem is that people like simple explanations. They say that the rich are corrupt or that the poor are lazy, but in reality it's more complex than that. The divide is created by thinking patterns, systems, access, and time. The first real separator is time horizon. Most poor people in Africa are forced to think short term, and this is not because they want to, but because they have to. When the rent is due, when the food is too expensive, when inflation is rising, and when your family depends on you, if you have one. Your brain cannot think 10 years ahead. It will think about today, this week, or this month, and that's the sad truth that we live in. Rich people, on the other hand, are trained to think differently. They think in decades. They'll ask themselves where a position will place them in 5, 10, 15, and even 20 years. Wealth only responds to patience, and you need to realize that if you cannot delay gratifications, you will not be able to build assets. This is one of the reasons why quick money schemes spread so quickly in Africa. Survival shortens vision. Another major separator is the confusion between income and wealth. Income is money you receive for activity, and wealth is money and assets that exist without your activity. Most people that are struggling focus on income. They're focused on salaries, focused on overtime, focused on side hustles, and even commissions, depending on what type of job you're doing. And you need to realize that when the work stops, the money stops as well. Wealthy people focus on ownership, on businesses, on equity, on systems, on assets and skills that scale. Income feels productive, wealth feels slow, but the income keeps you busy. Most Africans are trapped in labor loops. They're trading their hours for money until exhaustion. And what they don't understand is that wealth can break that loop. Ownership is another crucial divide. Poor people depend on employers, on governments, and markets they do not control. Rich people position themselves to own decision-making, distribution, and leverage. Even small ownership matters. A business, a stake, a scalable skill. Dependence makes income fragile. Ownership makes income resilient. Then there's the issue of risk. People that are struggling fear risks because one mistake can destroy their life. There's no safety net. They don't have something to fall back on. Failure is punished, so they avoid experimentation. They avoid learning curves. They avoid learning skills, and they avoid long-term investments. Rich people do not avoid risk. They structure it. They take small calculated risks repeatedly. People that are struggling are desperate, and they risk everything at once. The wealthy risk small amounts many times over time because they understand that experience compounds over time. Inflation is also another separator. It's not motivation, it's information. Wealthy people understand how money flows, how systems work, and how leverage can compound over time. They understand how taxes operate and how global markets function. People that are struggling are taught obedience. They are told not to step out of line. They are told to respect the hand that feeds them. They are taught that having a job is the most important thing, and they are told that they can never fail because they don't have anything to rely on. One group learns how to operate systems, and the other learns how to survive inside of those systems. And with this creates generational outcomes. Environment plays a huge role in this. Your environment trains your beliefs. If everyone around you thinks short term, if they discourage ambitions, if they mock patience, and if they fear change, then success will feel unsafe. Wealthy environments normalize long-term thinking, delayed gratification, ownership, and failures as feedback. Exposure shapes what you believe is possible. Emotional control is another invisible divider. Wealth is emotional before it's financial. Poor people are forced to react emotionally, with fear, with urgency, with panic, and with pressure. Wealthy people are trained to pause and to think and to analyze and to act strategically. Emotional control protects capital, and emotional reactions destroy it. Another key difference is how people think. People that are struggling think in tasks. They think about what can I do today? How can I earn now? How can I earn today? How can I make money now? Rich people think in systems. They think about how to make things repeat. They think about how to make things scale, and they also think about how to systemize things. They also think about how they can make things work without them. This is what we call passive income. When you create tasks for yourself, it will become exhausting. You should be creating systems that you can leverage, and Africa makes it harder. Most countries in Africa have unstable currencies, weak institutions, limited access, and political risks. But people in Africa need to realize that difficulty does not equal impossibility. This means that strategy matters more. You have to think globally while living locally. So what does this mean for you? It means that wealth is not built fast. It's built quietly. It also means that extending your time horizon, learning high leverage skills, prioritizing ownership, understanding money systems, and controlling your emotions. Now don't get me wrong, this is not easy and it's not popular, but it works. This channel exists to explain what school never did. Not hype, not motivation, just understanding. If you're African and you're serious about building wealth properly, subscribe. And and comment long term if you're ready to stop surviving and start thinking differently.